Most people think technology is just about gadgets, phones, laptops, apps. But in reality, technology is something much bigger. It is the infrastructure that allows the entire modern economy to function. Without technology, businesses cannot operate, governments cannot scale, and global systems simply stop working. At its core, the technology sector builds both physical and digital systems. It creates the foundation of today's economy. There are three essential things that technology produces. First, the chips inside every device. Second, the hardware we use every day. And third, the software that runs businesses and systems. Without these three components, modern commerce cannot exist. To understand the sector, you need to break it into three core layers. The first layer is semiconductors, the processing layer. These are tiny chips that perform calculations. Everything from smartphones to cars depends on them. The second layer is hardware, the physical layer. These are the devices and machines we interact with. Phones, laptops, servers, and data centers, all of them connect the world. The third layer is software, the control layer. Software tells hardware what to do. From accounting systems to cloud platforms, software runs the logic behind everything. Together, these three layers form the backbone of the digital economy. But what does the technology sector actually produce? On the surface, it produces physical products. Computers, smartphones, networking equipment, and massive data centers. It also produces digital services, cloud storage, cybersecurity systems, and artificial intelligence tools. But the real output of the technology sector is not just products or services. The real output is productivity. Technology allows companies to do more with less time, fewer employees, and lower costs. That's what makes this sector so powerful. Now, who actually leads this system? Different companies dominate different layers. In consumer devices, companies like Apple and Samsung build the products people use every day. In software, companies like Microsoft, Adobe, and Salesforce control the systems businesses rely on. In semiconductors, companies like NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD power the processing layer. And in cloud infrastructure, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google run the backbone of the internet. Each group controls a different part of the system. No single company controls everything, and that's what makes the structure so important. Now let's talk about what drives this sector. There are three main forces. First, upgrade cycles. Every few years, systems need to be replaced. New chips, faster networks, and better devices drive constant demand. Second, business efficiency. Companies invest in technology to improve productivity and reduce costs. This creates continuous spending across industries. Third, the cost of money. When interest rates are low, companies invest more in building data centers, infrastructure, and innovation. When money becomes expensive, spending slows down. So macro conditions matter a lot. Now, how do tech companies actually make money? There are two main models. The first is one-time sales, selling devices or hardware. Revenue depends on demand for new products. The second is recurring revenue, subscriptions for software and cloud services. Customers pay monthly or yearly, and today, recurring revenue is the most valuable part of the sector. It creates stability, predictability, and long-term growth. But like any system, there are risks. One major risk is supply chain concentration. Too many chips are produced in too few locations. If something goes wrong, the entire system is affected. Another risk is cybersecurity. As everything becomes digital, systems become vulnerable. And finally, rapid competition. Technology evolves quickly. Companies that fail to adapt lose relevance fast. At the end of the day, the technology sector is not just another industry. It is the operating system of the global economy. Right now, spending on AI and automation is accelerating across every sector. And the bottom line is simple. Technology builds the tools, drives productivity, and shapes how every other industry functions. And when technology slows down, the entire economy often slows down with it. If you want to understand markets, you have to understand this system. Subscribe to NAVIXA for structured market insights.